And well, today tugenda kuba tutunuulira abantu abambala galubindi amaaso see goggles anyway, but eyeglasses. We are seeing a trend of young children and adults having a curve in wearing these eyeglasses. Is it a question of improved eye services or too much exposure to screens and laptops and LED lights? We'll be finding that, we'll be diving deep into that with the Sunrise team. But in case you have an opinion or a thought on why this continues to happen every single moment, I would like you to use the number 0746 405060 okubanga otuweereza obubaka obwo tujja kuba tubusomera ddala era osobola n'okututaginga on our social media handles at Promise TV UG, no space on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, or even YouTube. Let's find out how Dawn Stewart and Susie the Rich Babe are doing. Good morning, colleagues. Good morning, friends.
Good morning, Angel, once again.
Good morning, Expendables. Good
Yes, a very good morning to our dear viewer. Ali mutulaba olwaleero bana olwaleero lubadde chiri
over range.
Chiri
nali know that chili is some word of chilling. You know when you say you're just chilling. So until I realized it means
it's actually real cold. Anyway, it was real cold, but
Mula was in quiet and it's the season.
Maybe.
Oba yachaddemu ko buchairs. Because it's been raining since when?
And actually,
since last week
was extremely hot.
Yeah. So hot.
Yeah, it was. Hey, good girl. It was real hot.
We still mourn with Sudhir Ruparel.
Yeah.
Upon the passing on of his son.
Yeah.
35 years, you know, very promising, very energetic, very knowledgeable, you know. And yesterday, I found myself at Lugogo. Susie, don't ask me what I was doing. I found myself at Lugogo. So, it's more like bullets. So, we are thinking these are bullets, but these were sports cars. You know how sports cars? Yeah. So,
Subaru.
So, can you let me deliver the story now?
Bullets. You said.
What is happening? What's happening? No, relax. It's the cremation of Jim.
Because those Subarus came. In Bagame, they're doing it in memory of him because he loved, and you know, Bambi, we really have this solidarity. Me, I thought because Chichamose, Nendoza people will hold back, they won't drive those cars. Then we saw the sister get onto that scooter, Najira riding Ashina in memory of the brother. She was riding the scooter to the place. Yeah, Elango Kalaba Kali scared Bambi, Nene Kagamba, I'm doing this for Rajiv. And I looked, but you people, you know, something struck me this morning. I was saying, the things that we do for people when they're alive, or why don't we honor people when they're alive? You know how someone asks you, when is this person's birthday? A family member whom we're actually very close to. And we all noticed we didn't know or we didn't pay attention to it. Then I was like, Choko muntu namkama na mala mtwala. Then we take note of the birthdays. Then we are so serious. You even feel bad. You start to remember, like, if you still have the time to be with them, why not celebrate them? Yeah, you take their birthday seriously.
Today, I think the conclave cardinal has commenced in terms of electing the next pope.
Meanwhile, I'm excited about that. I
wish them the very best.
Yeah, we can't wait for the new face.
Susan, I know the reason why you're excited.
Why?
Because of the expectation.
I know, right? I want to see how does this person look like. What did they best on?
But friends, if we shift gears into today's topic in terms of the increasing trend of people using eyeglasses, I want to start with me being personal.
You.
Me, yes.
Before you talk about others.
If I speak about other people, I started using eyeglasses 4 years ago.
Oh, recently?
Yes. But it's when I'm off anything like laptop or lights, I don't use them. So if I just have my phone, they're like, are you really sure?
Oh, it's a light thing.
Yes, it's a light thing. So I use them to restrain. So I would feel the headaches, until I went and they said, you know what, you need glasses. So when I put them on, the headaches actually
the migraines?
The migraines, yes. But we are seeing that people's eye vision is continually deteriorating, and we are seeing that every single day, at least among Ugandans, you find that 14% of them are having like a visual blur or need their eyesight to be corrected. So we are seeing young children. Actually, I visited a family where you find that from the father to the mother to the
they
first.
all put on specs.
Yes. And then I said, so that means the eye issue is a genetical and also something that you get. But I don't want to first pass it on, guys, as we crack this open.
Well, there is an article that was issued recently, and what they say that based on how this eye issue is going, by 2050, it might actually triple. It might triple. But when you talked about the children, ekintu kino kiva abamu kiva mu buto. I remember me when we were studying in primary, nga tutunuulira omwana in aspects, you would think, what is the problem?
Okay, first,
I think Azina had these big glasses, yeah?
Thick lenses.
Yeah. And if it was a glass, it's actually very thick compared to your parents.
Yes.
And would wonder, what is the problem? Because to atukula tumanyi amaso issues ziva ku bantu bakulu, yeah? But now, this is something that now has gone to the children. But there are some reasons why this happens to the children. And they're different, and some of them that can actually be avoided. Let's talk about lack of vitamins. Things at home. Lack of vitamin A. Many children don't get enough vitamin A in their diet.
Yes.
And this can cause night blindness. Night blindness and serious eye problems, especially in poor and rural areas. But we don't have to underestimate it here in Kampala. Actually, abantu abasinga bambala glasses abaana bali wano mu kibuga. Ate nga bato. So we look out for vitamin A, find out what kyekitaagisa mu vitamin A omwana kyalina okulya. Then there are also what we call infections. Diseases like measles and eye infections like conjunctivitis and trachoma. You people remember trachoma?
Yes.
Trachoma can damage a child's eye if not treated early. First of all, we are so used to self-medication. Sometimes these kids are really young, they cannot speak for themselves. Like olaba amaso g'omwana galina issue and you think it's an allergy. Yet it's getting worse. Katera, when you don't pay attention to it early, omwana ono jakosa agenze ne musomero, and you don't know. You don't know what the problem is, yet the problem is progressing. We've talked about injury or trachoma. Children can hurt their eyes while playing. Let me give you an example. I had a discussion with Pepe Cool's wife, Zwena, some time ago. We all know the son, Alpha, has an issue with the eye. And she said that omuntu yaba gifting a toy, I think. So this toy, abela omwana azanya nayo, but they were playing. I think kwabela nka kantu akabukako kweyo toy. So it went and hit the boy's eye. And when it hit the boy's eye, there's no turning back. This boy has undergone different surgeries. Now, kamu affecting, that's why his eye is like that. He has undergone surgeries. He actually puts on, I think, a lens. So, and at times you see social media judging the child. You don't know what the parents have been through. You don't know what really happened. And
I don't think that should be something
to laugh about. It's a problem now. And she says, I think someone gifted them again the same thing, or they were going to buy it, and then the dad said, you saw what happened to our son. Do you want the same thing to happen to another child? So that is one of the injuries, meaning we also have to be mindful of the toys that we buy for the children. And something happens. Then some of them, they're genetic or birth defects, because some children are born with eye problems, like crossed eyes. And by that, I've noticed sometimes that abantu abafuna crossed eyes, sometimes they eventually get issues with their eyes if they're not corrected early. Poor vision due to inherited conditions, zogambinti, ojakwe sanganga, bona. But I want to believe some of these problems can actually be corrected. Premature births. Did you know a premature birth can lead to an eye problem? Because here they say babies born too early are at risk of conditions. ROP, which can cause blindness if not treated. So I want to believe maybe sometimes abana bafewara because we're ignorant.
Yeah.
Me personally, I didn't know about the premature birth.
You talked about blindness. You know that approximately 0.4% of the population faces blindness. That is 160,000 people.
160,000.
Yes.
160,000.
Yes.
I think they have that
and
issue.
this is according to Ministry of Health. And do you know that moderate visual impairment affects 7%? Moderate visual impairment. Omuntu ono amaaso gajjako ekifu, amaaso tegalaba bulungi. That constitutes of 7% of the population, which is 2.8 million people. And the leading causes of blindness. Here the report says cataracts are the leading cause of blindness, accounting for 57.1%. And of the blindness cases, and cornea opacities. Cornea include like those as for them go on the more trachoma. So actually, twalitulo anti-trachoma. It's over like kumusomako all those days when it used to affect people in the eastern side of the country, and the truth is actually it affects people. It still affects people. And also, I think it's mostly because of the hygiene.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hygiene matters.
The cause is hygiene because of trachoma. Nebi n'abaana be babeera bazannyazannya ku ssomero n'ajjako glasses z'omuntu n'azambala n'azeegezaamu.
And you know, some of those issues are very unavoidable, but also there is traditional practices.
Like what?
Some harmful traditional eye treatments can cause damage if used on children. You people, my child has an allergy. I believe it's an allergy because you know how you tell him, Wembela wano, can you read this word? Some of those things, the tests that you do. Kati, some how parents can be like, need to support finding out something to do. Calls some Indian gentleman. Namgamba, what can I do? Namgamba, get honey or tekemu amazi g'omujaji, amazi g'amajani. Oyiwe mu maaso g'omwana. I suffered. Now, no.
Did you do that?
I did it because you know it's from India. I mean,
okay, an Indian has told you.
Yes,
so it's the best medication.
Yes. Now, honey onobo omutekamu amazi, notekamu obaga amajani. That honey, does it ferment? There is it smells with time.
Yeah, it does.
Ngenda maso nteka maso g'omwana. Ngenda olaba, the boy gets worse. And I'm wondering, hey, what exactly am I treating? Because I may think I'm administering.
Did you even go out to check it out over Google call?
Me, I knew it was an allergy.
You get there.
I knew it was an allergy, but sometimes it hits differently. Sometimes it's worse. I've met very many people. Never kugama nti. Like everybody gives their opinion basing on what they think. That's why it's very necessary you go find out what is the problem. True is some problems they outgrow them, but you may not know until you find out.
But you know, may I want to account this to the growing trend of technology.
Yeah,
if you realize from 2010 onwards, smartphones became increasing. Laptops became massive in the market space. And people started using projectors. People started working extra hours on their laptops.
Yeah.
So you find that someone is if you do IT, if you have studied IT, they'll always tell you sit upright, make sure that the light in your room is the same, is measurable to the light
and the same intensity.
Light eri mu room erina okuba nga yenkana never
nekusimu.
What?
So that's why you see at maybe midnight kids are there with their phones, or even adults.
So we are not supposed to be on phone when the lights are out?
Yes.
But the phone has this other thing.
Eye care.
The eye care that you can use, you can switch on at night.
But all about Susie, it is just like 5 years ago. But if
no, Gundi, it is 5 years ago.
But
Now, how many people even take time nti bwabanga ali lighted blood na activating that eye care, that blue eye thing. On your phone, dear viewer, kuliko an option.
If they have a good phone,
there's a light.
Digital well-being. Then I'm setting digital well-being. Then nengamba enje akasumukote kacha.
But you know, going the screen time, it's the biggest effect recently.
Screen time, very true.
And it's not only on phones. Ochimanyi nti abazadde ebiseera ebisinga omwana ono abeera ne game ewaka. Probably ayinza okuba nga talina simu naye ayina video game. Kati late in the night aliko video game ajjeko ne lights. Olaba effect eyo.
Anti kati, you people, by the way, technology, if we don't control ourselves, we have introduced our children to, you know, those kids' tablets?
Yes.
So you think you're being fancy. You think sometimes you do it because you're too busy. For instance, for a parent who stays at home, akolera waka naka omwana no mweno tablet tage nakola ki kunsumbuwa. Omwana akedde kumacha akozeseza tablet from morning. My child tells me at 6 a.m. azukse because they're on holiday. Mommy, can I get to the TV? Mommy, can I have my tablet? And I'm thinking, wait, when did we go there? So you have to limit your child. Actually, you know what we call digital detox. Digital detox by Jekwezo systems. Let them take a break from TV. Let them take a break from tablets. Send them out to play. You when what TV, what happens
going
to
in
them?
depth on actual screen time, we have, I'm going to mention like 3 problems, 3 effects. There is something they call digital eye strain. Now, the digital eye strain or computer vision syndrome, this is highly prevalent in children with significant screen times, and studies suggest that 50% to 80% of children who spend more than 2 hours continuously on digital devices may experience eye symptoms like eye discomfort, dry eyes, headaches, blurred vision, and difficulty in focusing. Which means increasingly in our generation, abana bayina difficulty mu focusing. Actually, focus is hard recently. Why? Increased screen time. Now there is dry eye. Otyolabyeko omwana nga amaaso makalu completely alinga atalina maziga.
Ekitegeeza wange ali emotional nnyo neewaana.
But you know, speaking about also the focus, even as adults.
Yeah.
Like that is why TikTok, either TikTok or Instagram, where things are just 30 seconds, 30 seconds, 30
Yeah.
seconds.
Scroll.
Yeah.
Because that is the span that now we are.
Imagine it's in this generation where abantu batya ekibeera hard omuntu okutuula n'alaba documentary.
Yeah.
You get bored.
You get bored. You want ebya 30 minutes odde ku kirala kakati documentary ey'essaawa ennambobe y'eddakiika 45 omuntu abe kakati ekintu ekirala another issue that is increasing in our time, it's myopia.
What is that?
Myopia is nearsightedness. Bebaana bano bolaba abalina bilenzi ebinene.
Kale be glass nga glass kinene.
Stuart, also on that same note, any parent should understand that the closer a child sits to the TV, the more dangerous their health is becoming, or their eyesight. Because the farther you sit from the TV, the way you are far from the intensity. Now, switching off the lights in maybe the room becomes actually more dangerous.
Ne Auntie Katiola Angel, some of these things are unavoidable.
Like?
Olabe Chochogambia, we are renting. Ojakwesanga, the kind of TV that I have, I can't put it up on the wall. Now, entebe eri kumpine, TV. Entebe eri wano, TV eri wano. Wawa kigenda kubeera kizibu nnyo gamba omwana tokola ki totuulawo.
TV ya kibuto ekiziko TV ya kibuto.
Nebeera nga smartphone naye kizibu ogamba yes
smartphone.
Yeah. Kigenda kubeera kizibu. I've tried it. N'omugamba don't sit there. Don't sit there until you are tired.
Gonda, according to an article on mykidsvision.org, the article says that children exposed to screens before age of 3 are more likely to develop myopia by the time they go to preschool or to nursery school.
They are more likely to do what?
Omwana nga abadde exposed ku screens nga tanaweza myaka 3 ali more likely okufuna myopia or nearsightedness by the time nga tanaba kugenda mu preschool bwana agendera mu nursery school. Now, a research in Ireland also showed that children using screens for more than 3 hours a day were almost 4 times more likely to have myopia than those using screens less than an hour. The risk was even higher. The risk is higher for kids. Actually, emirundi etan more risky for kids between 6 to 7 years. So this is actually how much screen time is affecting the vision. Kakati on omwana before preschool bwabanga abadde awereddwa screen azanya gundi alabe kokomeroni alabe yugete kutabu ku laptop most zina blue screen blue light devices ezikola blue light. Omwana ono before nga tanagenda mu preschool oba nursery school wane wafe ali most likely okubanga afunye myopia. Kakati bwatandika okula gondi zino visual impairments zino defects zino nezitandika okubanga zigenda zeyongera gradually mpola mpola. Ate the issue is nti omwana ono bwabanga atandise screen time nga muto it's very hard ne bwaba akoze okukendeeza.
Naye kambuze waliwo abambala specs zineno nga just temuli lenses
yeah.
Hagala swag.
Yeah.
Do you think these are the guys who are adding on the statistics yet?
But this thing is really becoming dangerous because, and I feel like we are the ones affecting our children. Kubanga, tuina TV, tuina tablets for the children. On top of that, we give them our phones. So omwana asibye ku TV, omwana ina tablet, omwana asibye ku phones. And I'll tell you people, this is where it gets actually hard, I think, when it comes to parenting. Twinzo kubanga, we are daddy and mommy. Daddy does not agree with me holding back on these digital items. Oba yenga, omwana isfocho kumuleka na uga nashtomtera ku TV. Oba nga tata ye ali in support of the TV being off, but the mother is not.
Omwana mulekala.
Omwana mulekala. Lwaki omwana wange mwonya bonya. But you are affecting the child. Because here, it says that this thing, you realize recently we're celebrating mental health, recognizing it. I remember even the Nabagereka of Uganda, Nabagereka Sylvia, came out and she started this thing, this recently. Like, let's start acknowledging it. Now, here it says that exposure to social media and online content can contribute to anxiety in children, depression, and low self-esteem, especially when comparing oneself to others online. Now, parents can agree. Omwana abeera nga ali ku TV abagenyi ne bajja, I'll tell you, it's hard to take this child, to take their attention off the TV. Bino pepe twakola nogenda nobuza ku bagenyi, like you go out and play with other children. They don't want. They want to be on TV.
Abaana ennaku zino bakyayagala even to go out and play. Even when they go out to play, there will still be digital products. There was a time,
they will become
games.
What?
Like never bagenda okuzanya, it's going still to be with digital products.
Yeah,
games,
true,
you know.
True.
There was a time there were some of these girls that I used to mentor back in school.
So you were mentor.
Oh yeah, he is.
At a certain point, I used to talk like they were my friends. They were way lower than me. Now, I go and meet them at this point, and I'm like, hey, how are you guys? Are you okay? Hope you're doing well. How is that going? And all these guys, they were buried in their phones. Oh, how are you? I'm fine. And they are scrolling.
Stuart,
They barely had a second for me.
that actually is a reflection of nowadays. When a meeting is organized, enter the meeting the first 5 minutes and see what people are on. People on their phone.
Scrolling.
And then you're speaking, that is what my spiritual father says, that you're speaking to someone who is far, yet the person who is close
Near
to
you, very far from you.
very far from you. So then when I leave, you want to speak to me when I am gone.
And by the way, the thing is, bino byonna biri mu contributing to your eye health.
Yes.
To your
And
eye
I
health.
believe it even goes deeper than that.
Kubanga kati okimanyi nti omuntu every break gy'afunamu ku ssimu ye, every break gy'afunamu ku ssimu ye, omuntu asobola okusiiba mu nnyumba olunaku lulamba bw'aba nga tagenze kukola ng'ali on their phones. Even in the night, najjako ettaala n'asigala on their phones. Meanwhile, this blue light is affecting you. That is why actually it's recommended that you actually get what they call photochromic glasses. Photochromic glasses azibeera gundi zijja kubanga ng'ezizo bwe ziri, but they prevent this blue light to come to penetrate, so it filters out. You get it? And they are very much needed ku bantu kakati kubanga waliwo omuntu ajja okugamba nze emirimu gyange gyonna
Ela,
on my phone or on my laptop.
Our lifestyle is quite busy.
On my computer.
Even when I go home, I have to deliver. I have to work. Nawesanga omuntu atandise essimu saa 12 ez'okumakya. Your work is online and you're supposed to finish it at midnight. Not knowing, yes, it's affecting us, but at the end of the day, you're telling yourself what to do. Because also when we go to treatment, that fee that you pay when you're going to consultation, it's quite expensive. The glasses, I noticed when it comes to glasses, frames was tuned differently, I think.
Yeah, frame may be different.
Different.
Lens gyogenda okuteeka. That's how it is. That's how
so
it is.
it gets expensive.
You remind me how I just walked in eye care last month. And I wanted to get different glasses apart from these ones. So guy tells me that the frames are 180,000. So I ask him, kale gwenga gwe.
So
jugula frames are 180,000. Zino basikula mu gold, basikula mu chi. So the business, the eye care has become a business where we are manipulated. Someone tells you that you go and walk and they say eyeglasses 450,000, 500,000.
Bela mula.
Yes. Then I said, can't this amount be taken down? Then I said, well, let us do 350. Then in my head I said, how did the amount move from 450,000?
And it is wrong.
Gondi, as of 2027, a report here says 2017. Sorry, a report by NCBI. It says by 2017, as the country, we only had 48 ophthalmologists.
Abakola kumasi.
By
There were how many?
2017, 48.
Only. And I remember the different
But that is 2017.
So how different is that person from an optician?
An optician, ophthalmologist is more specialized.
Okay.
You get era twali tuina 48.
In 2017, I remember the different things that I saw around Kampala.
Now, the World Health Organization goes on to say that the ratio was 4 ophthalmologists to 1 million people.
Wow.
So it became an entire business.
Probably the statistics have now gone up. But now, as of 2017, by the report that went out by 2017, the ratio was 4 ophthalmologists per 1 million people.
But people who are genuinely, Stuart, people who are genuinely having eye issues, they will tell you, I don't want to put on glasses.
Yeah.
Someone goes to get these glasses because they look classy and fancy. And I think the eye care has become more,
Yeah.
You want zebra
You want to
kind
look
of
fancy?
eyes.
We can do that.
So that is why I think people also say,
At a certain point, I used to think putting on glasses was fancy. And I used to look at, I'm like, yo, those guys look good in them. Until I got an issue and I started putting on the same glasses. Natali Kozamba, and then I got to know the discomfort that comes with them.
Yes.
And at a certain point, I just got them off. Actually, someone has twala tears.
But let's hear from our audience that is watching us. If you have just joined the discussion, tuli kwogera ku kurachi bana Uganda banji beyongera kubanga bambala galubindi ez'amaaso ezibanga zibayamba in terms of correction. Era babayagala kutweyingako nyagala kwesa namba 074-050-050 okusindika obubaka obwo. Or you drop your comment on our social media handles at Promise TV, UG to jump out of Gisoma, whatever Dalanyo. Yes, Susie, were you adding something?
No, it was still about that. The exposure that we've taken up, or the time that we've decided to spend on social media, because definitely the reason why I get on screen is for social media, right? You could
But
have
not
like
everyone that gets on screen is on social media.
very many people. The
Ima-
biggest
70%.
percentage.
So imagine an accountant. Most of your
Babeera
work is
nko ku
on
TikTok.
baberangako ne most of your work is on. If you're working, kale work time is on your computer, right? Imagine someone nga ye milimo gye gitambulira there on that computer.
Jitambulirako, but remember you're marketing, right? And you're going to market to people on social media, right? So Jacko said the biggest percentage of people are online, body on social media. And this thing says that it has disturbed the social and economical and emotional development. Over resilience on phones may hinder face-to-face. We also talked about social then there is also an issue of cyber risks.
Yes, cyber risks attached.
Where people's phones are hacked and you get to in touch with people that you don't know. I remember I met a lady, Kampala Paper Smart. I met a lady, she was talking to someone on Facebook, but they had never met. Never salaw ba meeting somewhere. A restaurant was next to where I work from. Katinze musangira, I find her on the road, she's all perturbed, people surrounding her. She comes meet this guy in a restaurant. Bogera mbobagina musomera deal. And they order for juice. Then after ordering for the juice, guy namgamba, my phone has a problem, can I make a call using your phone? Namgamba, okay. Guy tegada.
Nafuluma muko kunonya network.
Yes. Guy didn't come back. The phone was new, the husband had bought it for her. I'm asking her, so what are you going to do? Omwami omugambi ntino oli wano. Nagamba omwami amanyi oba ndi ku party.
Wow.
This is in the early morning hours. So abantu bababbi. Very many people will tell you, I've had issues on social media. I've gotten to get into people. We've seen people go commit suicide due to social media demands, the competition that get into, and not just big people, also children. It goes ahead. Children want a certain lifestyle. Do you know you can have this phone, or your child can have a phone, and you don't know who they are?
That's very true.
You don't know who they are. Recently, a boy came out and he was depressed on social media. Gagamba, the father got to find out he was gay.
Yeah.
Through social media. Ndoza gundi kamugwako. Ndoza yagwa kuka video ku TikTok. Namanya. So all along I thought I had a boy.
But he's a girl.
Father came out to embarrass the child. Now the boy still brought it on social media. I don't know if
How could my dad do that to me?
You know? Now stuff has been going on and parents don't know.
But you know, Susie, I really feel you've strongly brought out social media and how it's influencing us. Naye ekindagala ogamba omuntu nti buli lwokwata essimu no gimalako 1 hour. Whether it's TikTok, or it's Instagram, or it's YouTube, what you are watching, you are feeding yourself.
Yeah.
People who wake up every morning and the first thing they do is to hold their phone, the levels of stress and anxiety are more higher than those who take long. Because inside you there is something like, what habits do I have? Sometimes you have to, the moment you wake up, you first check your phone after 1 hour, after 2 hours, and you don't be pressured by what is there, because you're rushing to see people's statuses. You're assuming that there is message there, but you actually go and messages that are there are just group messages at the end of the day. So we have to be extremely very careful ochijja ku masimu ganeno technology kubanga byetuli okulaba byetuli okuwulira bigenda to impacting even our children. Our children are gonna hear words like my neighbor's children. So they were back in the backyard. They started singing a song. I said, oh my God, I wish they just knew the meaning of the song. But the parents said, like, yes. And I was like, because the parents just say, quarter tablet, quarter tablet, quarter tablet.
And a lot goes on social media, like this scrolling, binge, because people don't have shame anymore. People turn up the way they want on social media. Now your time, Joe, I think we need to go for digital detox.
That is why Promise TV is the only TV.
Kubanga, kwegamba,
cartoons.
You have to tell you need to tell yourself that I've been on the phone for this time.
Yes.
Can I take a break?
Yes.
Can I have a break from that? Until njibadeko kuva kumacha. Can jikoma sawa satu. Can I try to finish my work at 7 so that I get off the phone? My brain never nga teri ku social media, banga teri ku screen. Is it okay not to watch TV for a day? Is it okay not to be on your tab for a day? Can you find a way than keeping on the screen the whole day?
But I love what Stuart mentioned, which for me, I feel like it's a punch in the face, that Ugandans must exercise regular eye care checkup.
Yeah.
Sometimes these units or clinics we are going to, they want money. They tell you, according to what I'm seeing, you need
those
glasses.
symptoms.
And literally, you don't need them. Yes, over to you, Stuart.
But also, considering Katengo Muntu akola remotely, you have nothing else to do but to work on that computer.
Yes.
Please mind about your eyes. Get the photochromic glasses, go for eye checkup, bakulabe bakukebere chidala, always take breaks. I mean, mujisobola okukwata naye you can adopt the 20-20 rule. You get Susan yajitusomesako. Like if you go like for 20 minutes of straight focused work, take off like 2 or about 20 seconds, you take off like that break. You get yeah, so please taking a day ofulumeke ebweru olabe ku natural light. Ofulumeke ebweru, that's bobango sobola fulumake ebweru olabe ku natural light abamu otandika okukola ku makya sawa 12 n'ofuluma ekizimbe ekyo wookolera from that computer, from that thing, n'ofuluma ku ssaawa 3 ez'ekiro oba you get obwedde oli ku screen towumuddeeko tolabyeko natural light woofulumira nga it's dark, it becomes a problem to your eyes. So please and please mind your eyes. Naddala njogera kati ku muntu gwe nga you have no option but to be on that screen every single time, because that's where your work is mostly.
But Stuart, Ojukira, we had talked about people that get allergies, that have allergies, dust, sun, atolusa kasana kabera kanji. Now, I think you also need to know yourself. Me personally, I'm allergic to dust and sun. Sometimes just allergic to smoke, by the way. I never forget that I wash shades and I would smoke and people laughed at me. Anyway, so if it's sun and dust, embrace shades. Get shades. Those are very simple things. Take care of your shades, and these are one of the things that you should have in your bag.
Yes.
You should have shades. We very well know the condition of our roads. They're not the best. Nasally best, you still need shades. Anything can fall into your eye. Anything can happen. Take a shades zezo, embrace them. Even for children, by the way, children can put on shades. Me, I know my child is allergic to dust and smoke or name it. So I make sure if I'm to use a bike, let's wear the shades. Kubanga nezo defects nazo zigenda nezi increasing akayinja okugwa mu maaso. It might look like something small, but it might cause a very big defect in the long run. So embrace those sheds.
You have tickled me on the issue of eyelashes. You know, women are getting more temporary, permanent kind of eyelashes. But I feel the chemicals they use to around the eyes, slowly by slowly, that soap they use in the long run is going to be a very strong effect on them. But allow me digress. Mukimanyi nti mu nkuba eyatonye olunaku olwaleero abantu b'ennatete bwe bakyasiza okusafaringa. Just flooding. There is a flooding which is making the pedestrian movement very hard and also the trafficking. So omuntu abanga planning agenda natete, I think they need to first put it on hold.
Sorry. Now oyogedde ku eyelashes obo. In Lifestyle recently we did a video. We went to visit one of the makeup artist called Beve, and she had to take us through these things. Nga ina liquid ja kozesa nenga bakola ku kakowe kenyini. They don't get into the eye. Yeah. So nakugamba this has been proven. Nga abisomye. Ne price nayo bojiraba ja kozesa. Okay, you have this assurance this person is doing legit work. But guess what? Yesterday Mbera tuli with the girls I'm listening, I know Muntu are offering the same service at 20,000. Ngatenze is a manizili, not even double or triple or what, it's way higher than that. But then in my head I was thinking, how legit is the 20K product? The person doing it, have they taken courses in it?
Yeah.
Because if the person has taken a course in it, they're going to charge for that lesson and for that labor. Now, are you going for the cheap product that you don't even know? Because this person at the end of the day will get an effect. I mean, we've seen girls come out on social media having effects with those eyelashes. What are they going to offer you?
Absolutely.
Do you even have where to go to Omugambe? You did this to me. And look at what is happening. How legit is the product Jakuteko? How clean are they? Because Tugamba, even hygiene affects your eyesight. How clean are they? Now, these are things that we don't consider so much when it comes to Uganda because we love cheap labor. I know someone who can do it cheaply. But what's the effects in the long run?
So you get a makeup, and very many ladies want to use makeup nowadays. You know that eye drop they put in your eye to whiten it up?
I do.
When they drop that eye whitener, it narrows your eye veins. That is why your eye looks more whiter, because the veins are constricted. They become smaller. So every time they become smaller, your vision is...
So
I love the way you're looking at me.
No, because I've done it before and I'm shocked.
Yes, that is why the instruction on it says do not use it more frequently.
And don't they tell you that you should use it as prescribed?
As prescribed.
But all this in the name of looking
beauty.
good.
Yeah.
Beauty. You guys, why don't you just embrace yourself? Just embrace yourself the way you are.
That might be a bit hard if my darling man does not appreciate me or the people around me. I believe one of the things that has killed self-esteem is we don't know how to affirm our people.
Yeah.
Nti nabakuli around. By the way, you people, I don't know if you've grown up in families where they nickname you funny names. Big head, smanyanga ebiso. Like they find a bad feature about you. Yesterday we were talking about appreciating that body about yourself. Muscle glory could sound okay. Nene bakuvuma ama tu. Smaya bichikato mtu nakulanga amanyi this thing is not good enough. Someone killed my esteem about my legs. My sibling Nambuza, but do you balance properly? Do you balance when kula wabati? And I was like, okay. Alaba enoli mungi alaba magulu mukama ndoza takubalansinga bulungi. Yeah, so they give us these different things. Now you are seeing what they are seeing.
Have you got out of it or you still?
I did, but now when you come to see up nice legs, I'm like,
yes, but they are good.
No.
Once in a while, I feel like they are good after I've affirmed myself properly.
They are good. Get it from me here today. They are good.
No, everyone has their own opinion, but I'm sorry.
So
I
you
think my opinion is good. They are good. Trust me.
you.
Not even to flatter.
Abantu bakulaba ng'otudde tebanabakulaba
Exactly. Yes. Kati tukula makanga batugamba ebyo ebinnya. And I've been to a school. Yeah, I've been to a school. Even children go ahead and call these names. I remember telling a student, why would you call your friend Bontwe? What do you mean? Omutwe munene what? Gwamuzala. Because if people stop it, it's very, very bad. Now, because we've grown up not being affirmed, we are going to try to fix ourselves. Nti njakulaba obukoyeko bangamba tebukola ki tebumala. I'll add on. Bangamba kisige sirina. I'll go and they paint it.
Yeah.
Now, lack of affirmations. Njagena nkole nteke white na. Wetuka bagamba maso. Do you know when you wake up in your home, nebalabe baga ngokoze eriso. So when bela nino mukolo nongamba nkoze eriso, I'll go for a white na.
Our dear ladies, no by the way azimu konsonga lwachi otuka you have no option but to put on those glasses. Photo screen kakati bino those eye drops to make eyes whiter. They're affecting you big time in a long run. So please and please. Just refrain.
Naye twebaza Mukama filters eziri ku social media ne ku masemo ogenda okunsanga nga si bondaba wali omanyi mulala original. It's another copy.
Completely different copy.
Very different copy. Ne makeup nti kumbaga nga bwabadde nkyasi yeye. But we appreciate you. But all these things are defects.
Bino ebintu byonna byonna nga bwe tubimentioninzeeko mikwano azezimu ku nsonga lwaki people continue having no option but to put on glasses. So bambi kendeeza screen time.
Very true.
Watch what goes into your eyes. Your eyes by the way are some of the most precious parts of your body.
That's why scripture says the pride of the eyes, you know. Yeah.
You've seen also those people who prick around the eye.
Hey.
Nakateka wano.
The piercing.
Yeah.
Hey. No.
Kumpi nediso.
Kumpi ao kati. Abo balina gonde. Let's look at what goes directly into the eye, please.
Even what you feed on.
Wagenda US ngabagamba every metal has to stop here. Akona kakajjako.
Bakajjako ne babugulera. They can buy them again.
So kwenda kakona kote bakukiriza kuyingira na ku metal detector.
Maybe what I know, when you're to give birth, obyo ino byejjako. Tebakiriza those metallic
metals,
things.
Yeah.
Especially when you're going to the theater. When you're doing natural, I'm not sure. Bakujako, all those other things. But me, I think this is the time when we have to embrace ourselves, embrace who you are, mind what you eat. You need vitamin A.
Yes.
Make sure your children make carrots.
Yeah.
Carrots. Carrots. Make that carrot juice. You know, wabera mwana mto, you can still convince them to eat these things.
Not only carrots, but the fruits.
Mudia fruits, they help a lot. Bananas, mangoes. Season ya mangoes ya tose.
True.
Emiembe kome ko silinjulu kome. Or maybe even in the market, it's way cheaper than that. Because also mangoes, you need mangoes. You need mangoes, you need oranges. You need everything that is going to help you to work on your eyesight.
We are closing it right here, and I believe that very many people have been informed. Very many people have to sit down and think about the work they do, how they do it, how it's affecting them in the long run. That if you're having that good vision, how are you going to maintain it? Or you say, I don't care, but after 10 years, you're going to pay the price by always going to the hospital. Well, from us, we want to tell you that thank you for being a great audience. It's been a very insightful discussion. If you have a good eyesight and you don't need glasses, please maintain it. You use the preventive measures that will get deco. You need to make sure you're taking fruits. You need to reduce screen time. You need to digitally detox. Control the time your children are having on television. Ladies who do makeup, the eye whitener is not the way to go if you're using it very frequently. It's reducing it's constraining your eye veins, and at the end of the day, you'll be having a poor eyesight. I want to say thank you, and we'll close it up right here. From us to you. Bye-bye. Coming up is kindergarten. Stay tuned.